Hi there, and today I'm going to talk about stuff. The reason being that we're currently having some work done on the house, and because of that, it's come to the fore of my mind that I've got a bunch of stuff in my office that had to be moved from other rooms so that the people doing the work on the house could get this done. So I have a room full of stuff, and I realized that my own relationship with stuff is kind of back to front. That is, I don't like to acquire things, and I'm very careful about what I bring into my life. But once I have it, I tend to hold on to it because it builds some sort of meaning. So I have a couple of bicycles that are 15 and more than 20 years old that I maintain, and that I have had several cars throughout my adult life that each I've owned for more than 10 years. And that's just a matter of once I have it, I tend not I tend to hold on to it. I tend not to want to switch. So I think part of that can be as well the tendency to want to hold on to things. It's that feeling of nostalgia, but I would describe it more as the books that I have, I can open up and bring myself back to my past self that experienced those emotions or had that place in my life when I opened up that book in earlier times. Similarly, the bicycle that I've got now that's more than 20 years old, that has aged with me very well. And so, I mean, I'm not going to be winning any more races, so I don't need a $5,000 racing bike. The one that I have, I can maintain just fine. And it does all of the things that I could do when I was in my 30s. So there you go. It's this relationship with things that once they're in my life, they're hard to get rid of. Not that I would not dispose of them. I don't hoard things, but it's just, it builds up some sense of importance because it's there. If it were not for being married, probably most of the things that I'd own would be just hand-me-downs of stuff that I've inherited from other people that I hadn't decided to get rid of yet, especially with personally having so much trouble with acquisitions. Anyway, the connection I want to make here is that there are a whole category of people who identify themselves as INFPs or are identified as INFPs on YouTube. And those are folks like Kylie Lockhart, or the Cottage Fairy, that's a much bigger YouTuber. And I can also think of, there's lots of little YouTubers that will do things like show themselves walking in a stream barefoot while there's some nostalgic music playing, and then show their cat eating some cat food, and then show themselves petting the cat, and then maybe a bowl of soup, and then a picture of the clouds, and so on and so forth. But the idea being that I think of INFPs as being part abstract. So it's the feeling of things and then the ideation of meaning behind those, to put meaning to those feelings. Even when it's subjective meaning based on subjective experience, that's what's important. I wasn't sure what to make of those sorts of videos because it's like, well, great, it's someone with a bowl of soup. And yes, they wanted to evoke certain feelings, maybe of nostalgia usually, by petting the cat and showing themselves with a bowl of soup, and so on and so forth. But what makes the connection then is that these are hop-off points to abstractions of what symbolic things that the YouTuber or the INFP is trying to say. So I can't unequivocally say that these folks are INFPs because anyone can showcase a bowl of soup or themselves petting a cat, but I understand now where they're coming from and what they're trying to do. It is evoking a feeling and then theoretically trying to bring forth the symbolism behind that thing to kind of say, this is who I am, this is how I feel, this is the environment that I have built to be the world that I inhabit and the feelings that I have that sit within that world. So it's kind of a cool thing if I'm onto something here, and I think I am onto something here, that a number of the folks that don't necessarily express how they feel still have the combination of feeling and ideation and are INFPs, and well, that's a pretty cool thing. So anyway, if you have an odd relationship with stuff, I'm sure this is not the only way to live. I know that there's folks that identify as INFPs who are big into acquisition of stuff, or the ownership and use of stuff in order to bring about certain feelings. Or maybe there's some folks who are about the disposition or disposal of stuff. Coming up with my own vocabulary here. Anyway, if you have certain feelings or odd relationships with stuff, I would love to hear about it, because I'd be interested to see how we may resemble or differ each other in this perspective. Anyway, wherever you may be, I hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, day. I was at the dentist earlier today, so my day is much better than it was in the morning, and hopefully your day is going well as well. Bye for now.